Okay, today's PCB knowledge is sharing. We are sharing a knowledge today, which is for October, and we have our guests announced already, and expecting to hear. We are expecting to hear from her. So I believe every one of us should sit back. I believe every one of us should sit back and learn from. Sorry, I can't hear myself. Hello. Pumping, as we all know. Today we're going to talk about something we need to know. We know I love talking about business, how we can scale our business, how we can be a business-minded person. And today that we have a topic, we're going to speak through a topic, because if we said
I see. Yeah, so I've been in the financial sector for a while, and also I would say I love entrepreneurship as well. Because of that, I work with a development bank, which is a DFI, and the mandate basically is to uphold and uplift and develop, our economy. And how do we develop our economy? It's only through you guys, the entrepreneurs. So because of that, I'm always passionate to have discussions around entrepreneurship. And also because I was, will I say once, an entrepreneur or still an entrepreneur. So it's about us. So I expect this session to be very interactive, because we onboarding everything we need to know. And also, I also need to learn from you guys as well. So for me, as I said, as an entrepreneur, definitely I understand, especially operating in Nigeria, for example, I would say it's a big task to accomplish. Where do you want to start? Is it about the government regulations? Is it the infrastructural challenges? Is it, so we understand those things, they're there. But then how do we navigate through those challenges? But in as much as these challenges are there, we can only control what we, our circle of influence. And that's talking about us. So I chose this interesting topic because there's been extensive research on it. And there's been a model that is guiding this innovation, I would say. So when you look at the concept of, commuinpreneurship, even before I go in there, as I said, part of the, research we got to know of is that aside the financial challenges or financial need of an entrepreneur, there are actually more needs than even the financial needs. So in terms of support, in terms of, mentoring, in terms of even ability to access opportunities around us. It could be financial opportunity, or it could even be in terms of business, skill, management and all that. So aside those things, we bring, we try to put all those things into a box and see how do we begin to, even tackle those ones that are non-financial related, and because if you're able to deal, because just as Engineer Pumping did say now, you mentioned reputation. If you're able to manage those things, then the financial resources will naturally come. It will come. And these things apparently relate to us as individuals. So we look at commuinpreneurship. Commuinpreneurship is not far-fetched from entrepreneurship. But the truth about it is that Africans, we are communal in the way we do our things. We are communal in the way we live together. We are communal in the way we do our businesses. We are communal in the way we socialize as well. So that concept has been in us, but then we're not, unfortunately, we've actually moved more into the westernized, approach and way of doing things than looking within us and, bring out that unique, factors that differentiate us as Africans. And so basically that's what we're coming back to say. Now, as I said, we've seen where this concept and model has worked. And we believe that, I personally also believe that it's something we can begin to imbibe or begin to, add into our educational system, or even the way we do operate our businesses as well. So now going deep into it, if you align with me, if you look within, you realize that we are all interconnected, one way or the other. So for example, I would say an Hausa person has certain values as a result of the culture, the tribe she belongs to, that is attributed to the way they do their business, to the things they believe in. So for example, I would say an Hausa person, because of their language, I would say they hold on so much to their language. And when they realize that you connect with them at that level, the trust element, it comes to play in the way they do their business and the way they see, life generally. Now, looking at the Igbo tribe, for example, talking about they have a model called the Imwaya. That's the Imwaya, which is like the apprenticeship system model of operation. So you see how an Igbo person would take another person who would learn a trade and would avail the person, he or she, to all the techniques embedded in that business. And now, even at the point of exit, the person is also guided and mentored, just to ensure stability. Now, and you're a Yoruba person as well. So also, if you look within a Yoruba person, especially our Yoruba proverbs, which talks about something like Omoluabi, Omoluabi talks about character. It talks about, sorry, excuse me. Okay. It talks about character, it looks at character, and which is quite important into, the kind of family, you come from. And it goes a long way, even relating it to your business, the way you carry yourself, the way you relate with people, socialize with people. And it's all a brand in entirety, we look at it. So all these things together, because I heard Dr. Pompey mentioning reputation, they all also have certain influences on your brand, on your business, and the kind of opportunities you're able to get as well. Now, going deep into how, because I've been opportune to try to get finances or get businesses to access financial opportunities, but then we see a gap. It's a struggle identifying that business that qualifies to meet up with this, level of expectation. Unfortunately, as I said, because we're African, and because of the challenges which is peculiar to us, as in Nigeria example, we live more for daily survival. We don't look beyond the business of today. We don't look into the sustainability of that business. So because of that, we are short-sighted, and we need to begin to see ourselves more in the long term. So for example, you would say, if you look at the Lebanese, for example, you will see that they move in clusters. And because of that, they're also able to attract, good financial opportunities and good investment or, transactional deals as well. So for us, we need to start appreciating and knowing that we are all connected. Do you understand? Because when you give business A an opportunity to access finance, you should know that you must be capable, you must be trustworthy enough to make sure you fulfill your obligations, because not fulfillment of such obligation would affect you, of course, in terms of reputation, but it will also affect the business B from accessing, further opportunities like that. So as I said, being in the financial sector, there's been a struggle, especially supporting the SME sector. And I will tell you, most financial institutions, or will I say as a DFI, are now are not really interested in supporting those sectors anymore. So what do we need to do? What do we need to do differently? But what we can do basically is to keep revalidating and reorientating ourselves through a platform like this on the need for, on the need to become financially responsible. Because trust me, as I've said, the financing opportunities are there. But also the investors are looking out and saying, who do I want to give my funds to? So it's been a struggle. And that's the essence of the commuinpreneurship model. Now, the commuinpreneurship model has been tested in some communities. So for example, in an Ajogunle community, for example. So you would see a situation where even as little as what we know as Ajo, for example, it's it's also a financial tool, it's a financial model. Because in a financial institution, typically, if you want to access funding opportunities, remember you would need to have some form of equity investment from your side. So how do we begin to build those equity base from our own side? Of course, things as little as a cooperative system could enhance such opportunities, because I see a lot of people struggle even in area of equity financing from their own side. So we need to start building up some level of savings. You might not be able to do it alone, and as I said, things like even the cooperative system, as small and simple as it is, it's some form is a good platform that can help. So, and remember the values embedded in a cooperative society. So which still goes back to the fact that we need to trust again. Let me put it that way. We need to start trusting. We need to have we must be honest. We must, be honest. We must see ourselves as one. There's something in South Africa they call Ubuntu. So Ubuntu means I am because you are. So if we're all interconnected and we all hold on to the circle, and know that we must believe in this, in this system, then we must all be financially responsible. And that is one thing that I think is very important for us to start imbibing. We must start seeing that even in our brands, in the businesses we do, somebody's watching. That's the truth about it. Because as I've said, there are financial opportunities everywhere. I belong to one of I work with one of the financial and developmental bank, which is not a commercial bank. And basically what we do is just to look for businesses that we can empower, that we can give access to funding. But as I said, it must stand on certain values. I'll be glad to have people who have gone through or that are coming through this academy and need financial, means, or would like some form of funding to move their businesses further. But before you can do that on that platform, I'm sure the academy would need to endorse or say, yes, this person can, qualify for this kind of opportunity. And to wrap it up, what is important is that those values that you carry as a brand, as a business, must be brought to fore. So as I said, it's going to be interactive. So I think I would like to stay on that point and see and listen to maybe questions, and I can know what more to share. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Lanre. That's a very brief and direct thing. Just like I said, business won't move when you don't have repetition matters a lot, and we need to work with this. Repetition helps, and when we are talking about repetition, sometimes you can even borrow repetitions. And what do I mean by people borrowing repetition is that the caliber of people you're moving with. Sometimes your repetition might fall or might use due to some aspect, but you need to move with some aspect of people that you have a good repetition with. Just like I'm bringing Lanre today. We've discussed a lot of businesses, how they can help in businesses, but they need someone that can stand to you. They can't just give you some funds. Some fund is not open to you. So there's some things you need to understand when we're talking about repetition. That's why I said I have 3-5 types of repetition that we need to work on. Sometimes your repetition might be okay. What about your performance? That's why I say repetition with performance gap. You could have a good repetition, but your performance might not be okay. To you, you believe your repetition is good. Oh, to me, you are not the one to tell us your repetition is on. So when they do their own, then they do their own assessment. So I talked about repetition, about you need to close the gap. Very, very important, because repetition is more important than money. Repetition is more important than money because I can gain access to a lot of things that I want to gain if I have good repetition. So that's why I said you need to work on your performance when you're talking about repetition. If you don't close the repetition performance, you might not move. That's why I say sometimes there are some other things that you need to put together. But today we're going to have an interactive class where we need to ask questions from her. She's ready to answer how you can get the access to these things. I can tell you, okay, this so person you can give to this person. Because I remember, was it not last year, was it last year or this year that we talked about that they can give loans as high as 2, 3, 500 million, 100 million. So before you can be granted such loans, definitely you need to have a good project. Why some businesses are not moving? Why some businesses are not going forward? Why some entrepreneurs will tell you they keep doing a business is not forthcoming and all that because they don't have access to fund. And fund is very important in business. So sometimes there are some things we need to work on. If you don't work on your repetition, just like you said, the entrepreneurial, which you're talking about, there are some areas that they're practicing it. Just like she mentioned, the Hausas, the tribes. You know, sometimes when a Yoruba man comes into your office, because you're a Yoruba man, there's a way you attend to the person. That's what we mean by you appreciate this person. But this person you're attending to doesn't mean that you're still going to give the person the loan because you've given him that soft landing because you are my tribe. So I'm giving you this soft landing. But if we're now going to question your repetition, that is where the question comes from. But anybody that will know, okay, I need a fund, I need to do some business, or you have something viable, a project that is viable, not you want to get a house rent and all that. I won't even answer such. But you know that you have a good project, you come, we discuss, I can now say, okay, Lanre, I know this person is coming, is on my platform, is coming from this academy and all that, and I know what he's capable of doing. That is what we call repetition standing for. But from what she has taught us today, there's a lot of questions that I know. If you know you have questions to ask while I'm still going forward, before I still unleash some things I want to talk about, you can come, just raise up your hands where we call on you. You can ask your questions or you drop it in the chat room. So you can ask your questions. So if you have any other question, any question you want to ask concerning this, or you want to have a good view of what she just talked about, but I believe it's just a straight, direct topic that we should be able to pick on. And so the floor is open to you. So if you have a question, you can raise up your hand if you have any questions to talk about. Okay, there's a question from Facebook. Okay, Omoni. Okay, thank you, Lanre. This is a good presentation. I'm happy to hear this. Please, what kind of collateral do someone need apart from engineer pumping recommending someone if you are into real estate? Thank you. Okay, Lanre, did you get that question?
Yes, I did. All right, so because a real estate person, as I said, from a development perspective, real estate can be termed as buying and selling. From my own lens, what we're interested in are businesses that will give employment, will cause employment generation into manufacturing, production, processing. Real estate, aside, maybe you want to come up with a shopping mall, you want to come up with maybe an hotel, as long as not the real estate or buying and selling, where I build a house and I'm selling to people who will not support a real estate business. But if it's an hotel business, if it's coming up with shopping mall, something that we know would be beneficial to everybody, to the economy and economic growth, especially employment, opportunities they will support. However, from transactions that require up to 10 million would only need a guarantee. Anything above 10 million, then we could look at collateral such as I said, your own part of the equity, or at least a 30% equity. Then we could look into legal mortgage as collateral, and if it's 1 billion and above, then we could look into a bank guarantee.
All right. From the Facebook, I believe you could hear from her. You've explained it better, or you can still DM me later. We'll discuss better. And we have Pastor Sarah. Pastor Sarah, you're raising up your hand. Can you unmute yourself and ask your question? Pastor Sarah, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Good evening.
Good evening, Mother.
Yes. Larry, hi, how are you? My question goes thus. Why is BOI not yet into trading? Is it that they've had it before and they had problems getting their money back? Because like you said, the present Nigeria economy that we are in can be saved through entrepreneurial skills, because we actually are the ones that are going to provide employment for this large unemployment, thing we are facing now in Nigeria. And when we don't get the finance that we need, how do we bring our dreams and visions to pass? And how do we add our own quota to the economy? Like you said, an entrepreneur, you don't do business for a moment, you consider the future. And in considering the future, you look at how big you want to be. How big is your dream? How do you want to bring it to pass? How do you want to achieve? So why is BI yet into trading? Why are they not yet financing traders like me that have a big vision? And even with the little I have been able to do, I have been able to create employment for the little number of people I have the power to create, but I still want to do more. And if you go to commercial banks, the interest is so mega high. How do I want to even break even if I don't understand my business? And it takes these guys are actually want to add their quota into the Nigerian economic system.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right.
All right, thank you for that question. I actually feel your pain and also passion for what you do. So thank you very much. So as I said, a developmental bank is more interested in its economy, in the growth, and the fact that you need to develop things, within your economy. So a trading oftentimes are more focused on imported, items, and also because we are passionate, we want to also grow those things that we're bringing in locally as well. And that's why we've, chosen to say the mandate would be for. However, for trading businesses as well, we could, there are certain times we do certain things. So for example, maybe a Dangote or a flour mill, for example, that knows, of course, does its operation locally. We could, avail certain funds where they're also able to cater for their distributorship line. Do you understand?
Okay.
So it wouldn't come directly to us, but we would rather want to operate, with those people making the production themselves locally. Then we can connect you with those, people. That's the kind of model that can work, but not a direct.
Okay.
It won't come directly. Yes.
Well, okay. Yeah, well understood. Okay. Okay. Well understood.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. So I believe SB, you have a question. SB, are you there? Hello, SB. I could. Okay. While we are waiting for SB, Mr. Nielsen, can you unmute yourself and ask your question?
Okay, good evening. Good evening, Madam Lanre. How are you?
Oh, well, thank you.
Thank you for the presentation. And thank you, Engineer Pompey, for the opportunity given to us for this program. We know that Nigerian bank loans attract very, very high interest rates.
Yes.
I would like to know what is the interest rate in your own financing models. Thank you.
All right, thank you. So our interest rate varies. What you can get as low as a 5% per annum, and also as high as a 10% per annum. But we don't go beyond 10. We can have it as low as 5%.
Okay, I believe Mr. Newton, you're okay with that. SB, I believe you said you have a question, but we still have some.
Yeah.
Okay, we still have, okay, you
can you hear me properly now?
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you very much for the insights. So my question actually is that I don't know if BOI actually sponsors, let's say, an entrepreneurship boot camp. For example, there is a current boot camp that's out of the country, they selected about 100 people, and in Nigeria, they selected about 6 people or so. So fortunately, I'm part of the 6 people that they actually selected. All right, and they asked us to reach out to institutions to get funding. So it is something that it's possible to get. Yeah, that's my point.
Okay. So yeah, we do have, we support local content, and such will need to look into it to see how it's going to be beneficial, to our own economy, and also of course to the growth of our people as well. So yes, we do. We do support such.
All right. Thank you very much.
Okay. You can chat me later. Maybe we'll push that to our let them see, and if it's something that is viable, I think they can look into that and pick it up from there. We still have Peninsula main chapter. Is it Peninsula main chapter? You're raising up your hand. You have a question.
Yes.
Can you unmute yourself?
You have done that. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Engineer Pompey and my wonderful sister there. Larry, this is Olaba and Jaonile. Yeah, our network has not been too friendly here, but from the questions that people ask, I think I have an insight of what was discussed. At what stage can an entrepreneur approach your institution or your organization for support? And what are the maybe a kind of sector, or let me say, which sectors that can access your support in terms of financing? Thank you.
All right. So we support all sectors, aside, as said, real estate. I would say businesses that would categorize as buying and selling, trading, even though we can still provide support, to them. Also, so I said we support all sectors aside those two. So we largely deal in the real sector, solid mineral, all sectors that you can think of, even as low as a laundry business, you know, as long as you'll be needing any form of equipment, machinery to run your business, while also supporting you with working capital, support all sectors. So anything, any idea you have, aside, as I said, direct buying and selling, the real estate sector, and real estate in area of I'm building and I'm selling, or not. Real estate in area of, okay, I'm building a shopping mall, I'm building an hotel, you know, hospitality, you know, business. Yes, we'll support you. And we provide support at any stage. If it's starting, if you're already there and you need some form of expansion or diversification, anything, we always can approach. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right. Okay, I think we're good, Mr. Ben. Okay, we have questions from the Facebook platform. They're asking that someone, okay, good evening, Madam Lanre. We appreciate this kind of platform, and I believe we will still give up more of this. My question is, I have a project close to 900 million, and I've been on this for some time, going to commercial banks, but all is still not settled because of the rate of interest. But you said, from what I heard tonight, can someone that is trying to set up a milling company, we are into rice milling, we are trying to bring in our equipment and tools from China, can that project be sponsored through your institution?
Yes, it can. We've supported a lot of rice mill businesses. So yes, it's one of our key areas as well. We'd like to have you on board.
Yeah, I believe you can, from Facebook platform, I believe that is answered. If you need any other information, you can contact us on PCV group, that's PCV Training Academy, where I can teach you more on how you can get the links down. Also, we have another one from Instagram, is asking, and is please, is there anything like age discrepancy? Someone that is not yet 18, but he has been into business worth of 100 million, and such person come for loan facility?
Wow, quite an interesting one. I'll have said yes, and I can't say no, because you know, one of the requirements is you having your CAC registration, and also the fact that you must have a commercial bank relationship in terms of accounts opening and all that. So I'm sure below 18 would still be considered as minor. So it depends on how you're able to navigate through that. But looking at the business as it is, yes, we would. It's something we can work with. But in terms of age, perhaps you need to have other directors in your group, on your board, that can still come and.
She just dropped a message. Is Aisha from? Okay, I know. Okay. Aisha from Kaduna. I think I know. Aisha from Kaduna. I'm running my father's business, but I'm the CEO. I'm the COO of the business. Just go up another chat after listening.
So that's okay. As I said, I'm sure the directors of the company will have been, you know, well registered, and so it's okay. We'll be looking in terms of the knowledge, you know, and how in your capacity or in the capacity of we're looking at the company in its entirety. So it's not about you. So I think it's okay. We can work with it. Since you're not running it, you're not the only one on the board. So it's okay.
I believe you. I'll send you a message. I believe this is clear. And also, that means that Alaji Danjuma is there. I believe you saw this on your post, because I believe you are not the one to come. But I believe Alaji Danjuma will definitely come for that if that is necessary. So no problem. Your question has been answered. If we still have any other answer in-house while I still take the one online, The other question is, yeah, Larry, yeah, this is Felix from LAPSU. Nice hearing from you again. How can someone okay, how can someone work in such an institution that you are now? Be an chartered accountant. I think we might take this question offline, but are you ready to answer such question?
It's okay.
Take this offline.
No, it's okay. I've not even gotten hold of the question properly.
Yeah, he said, Larry, my name is Felix from LASU Banking and Finance. I want to ask someone that has somebody that is a chartered accountant and would like to work in such institution that you have. How do somebody go about it?
Oh, I see. Well, due process will be followed. I'm sure you would, PVC Academy would reach out to you.
All right, Felix, I believe that is what you can. You have our number, 08150887836. You call, someone will attend to you, and we'll take it up from there. But we are here today to talk about business itself, how we can encourage the entrepreneur, how we can get access to funds. Because I tell people, before I could get to where I am today, if you don't have funds, there's a way and manner you won't move. There's no how you said, oh, I have some people have the school of thought. They will tell you, I don't like going for loans. I don't like loans. And I can tell you, 80% of the rich man that you see all over the world, that we are calling them rich people, they go on loan. They live on loans. Why? They know what they're doing. It's only because if you don't know what you're doing, that's why you'll be scared of getting a loan. A loan is what takes us to the next level, and that is how you'll be able to gain those things. That's why I was coming up with a topic which I was still going to talk about it in my online class, which is the repetition. It's very, very close to what Larry has just talked about. Repetitions speak a lot. Why some people might be scared or they are not, they said, oh, the interest and all that. You need to calculate yourself. You need to know your onions. You need to dot all your I's. You need to cross all your T's before you can go for loans. You should understand all these gimmicks. You can understand what the business is all about. It is not the company. It is not the business. It is not the kind of bank that will do all these things for you. It is what you present to them. That is what they will work on. So you need to work on yourself. That's why I was talking about reputation. Reputations, we have different things about reputations, things that you need to close. That's when I said, I have 5 different things that I'm going to talk about it online, but thank God she talked about this aspect of topic today, which is, I said reputation and reality gap. See, we can't stay away from it. Let us see, you might have the reputation, but you need to face the reality. You need to close the gap. Everybody might see you outside, just like what we see online. Some of us live a fake life, online, social life, but getting to know them, you get to know that, oh, this person, and you get out, so person, the people will not go deep down. They will tell you, I went to a bank, they didn't give me a loan. But they will tell them, it is what we see outside. So reputation and reality gap, you need to close it. We need to close it. I've talked about reputation and performance gap. You need to close. See, you're doing, your reputation, we see, everybody see, oh, it's a cool-headed person, is doing this, is doing that. But it's your performance. When you submit those things, those documents that you're meant to submit, those documents are then meeting up with the criteria, with what they're meant to, for you to submit. You can't tell me because you have a reputation, you are a pastor today does not mean if you go to them, they will give you a loan. No, you need to go through the process. So that's why I talked about that gap. You need to, we talk about reality gap, we talk about performance gap. Now I'm talking about reputation with perspective gap. You yourself, you know the reality about yourself. And the same thing people who should think outside. If you don't close that gap, all these things we are talking about might not work for us. I talked about reputation with communication gap. There's some, if not this platform, some of us would not even know things that we need to go for. I can tell you that I need a loan close to 300, 500 million. I'm not scared because I know the person that will give it to me. I can go to that, they will give me and I will do that for, and I will get it back. And in the next few years, I know that I will get it back. These are opportunities that we need to tap into. That's why we're talking about communications. If you're not good in communicating, there should be a way for you to communicate And communication, it has to be involved two parties, you saying it, and the other party at the other hand. Are they getting it well? Sometimes we go out and tell them, oh, I have a loan. Larry, please, we have loans, this. You go to them, but the way you're communicating, you're not communicating, but to you, you feel you're communicating. So we need to work on our communication skills. If we don't work on communication skills, sometimes there are some doors that won't be open. Okay, we have another online. Do we still have inline? I like take question from online. Nobody in line yet. Nobody. If you are here, you still have one or two questions to ask. You can raise up your hand. While we take, we take mass communications. Yeah, good evening, Engineer Pompey. Thanks for this opportunity. I'm in Zamfara, and I'm in Zamfara. We're trying to. We visited industry of Bank of the Industry, but I was turned down. I have a project worth of 400 million. Okay, 400 million, but they turned me down saying because I don't have tax clearance. What can my tax? Okay, I don't have tax clearance. My tax clearance is not up to date. Madam Lanre, what is there any other way around about this? I don't think it's the same question, but let me allow the expert to talk about it. But this is a straight answer. You said you have a business, she is in Zamfara. You have the project close to 440, okay, 400 million. But I went to BA, Bank of the Industry, they turned me down. My tax clearance is not up to date. Is there anything we can do about this? Okay. To me, I believe there's a straight answer, but let me allow the speaker to say something about this.
You know, we need to get updated. That's it. We need to get updated. However, if you show with evidence that it's something you're working on, then we can still go ahead and continue the transaction, pending when that's you're able to update your record. But you must be saying that you start working on it. But it's a mandatory requirement to have.
All right. From Zamfara, I believe they will drop you the admin will drop this information to you that you need to just work on it, but you can still contact the PCB group. They will attend to you on that. But to me, let us do all necessary things so that nobody will turn you down. They wish to give you money. I can tell you that banks are ready to give you. It's just that when we don't meet up with some cafeterias and we now see them as the wicked side, but I believe they are ready to do that. Okay, let's take nobody. Okay, let's do it more online. While we are rounding on the program, let me take this. Okay, okay. Okay, let me take no. All right. Good evening, engineer. Thanks. We appreciate your time, and this monthly program it has really added to my life and my business. I would like to ask this question: when is it appropriate for a company? When is it appropriate for a company to visit a bank for loan? I would like Madam to explain to us when all these questions to me. Larry, would you like to answer this? Because I believe this is not a direct question that it's something you should know because I don't. But would you like to answer such questions?
No question is too small to be answered. But of course we've got different views. Yes, I would say that you should start seeking for loan when you're ready, when you're sure you need it, when you're sure you've exhausted, and also and you're underutilizing your resources. So what I mean is that your immediate resources is not sufficient, but you have opportunities for more expansion, for more growth, and you cannot meet up because of limited financial resources. It could be now we're talking financial, so yes, limited financial resources, but you must be sure and be able to prove that you have you still have the room for growth and for expansion, but you only, restricted, but you've also exhausted your own form of equity, and there's still, room for growth. So, in my own view. Engineer, you can add to that.
All right, you've got. Anyway, you've gotten a very good answer to that from a professional. To me, when it comes to that, we're talking about business. You can DM me. I will take you on what we call a module of business attainment of wealth, where you'll be able to know when you are ready. Nobody will tell you when you are ready. Just like a newborn baby, nobody tells you. You might wake up one day and say the child is walking. Nobody tells them, and the child starts talking. There's a way and hour. It's all about process. You don't jump the gun. You can't. It's a process. You will definitely know yourself when you are right. Nobody will tell you when you're right. I can't tell you when to go and wash your mouth. I can tell you, but I can't force you. But so you will know that. But when you come, I can tell you things that you need to know when you believe it's ready. But yourself, you should know. Nobody will tell you when it's ready to get married. You will know. They can only tell you have some. That's why people say, "Oh, I have my parents, my family are telling me when." They can only say it depends on when you know you are fully ready. They will tell you to go and get married, but are they the one to feed your family? Are they the one to cater for the business? No. So you should know when it's right for you to do all that. So that question is answered. Okay, this is from Danta Awelema. Okay, Awelema from Kaduna. Okay, these are my people from Kaduna. Okay, he said, "Oh, engineer, thank you for sending this message. What I want to ask, we are into road constructions, as you all know. Can we come for loan? Since we are working for federal government and state government, can we come for loan?" So, Larry, it's a known question. So they're asking, I know them, they're into construction too. They do job for federal government, roads, construction, and they are asking if they can come for loan. But I know I'm expecting that question. Thank God you even remind me. I wanted to ask you that question once again. So what's your take on it?
So still you'll be assessed based on it's the company looking at. Yes, your customers, your clients would be put also into perspective, because we need to be sure you'll be able to generate enough returns or revenue to pay off the facility. And also your past transactions, financial transaction records would also justify how long, how much and how long we can give in all financial transactions. So for example, there are some businesses you look at to say, oh, this person might not be able to pay back conveniently in 3 years, then let's extend to 6 years. Do you understand? So now talking about the road construction, so it also depends on what exactly you want to finance in what you'll be needing the funds for. Is it to purchase some form of equipment to enhance your work and all that? So yes, I think it's something we should discuss, and we would be able to support, depending on the area where exactly you want to finance it.
All right, thank you. I think that answered the question. And I have another question here online from Fatima. Is that he or she? I don't know. Fatima. Okay, that should be she. How long does it take for Bank of the Industry to process a loan?
So it depends on the kind of loan you're looking at. As I said, anything above 10 million just requires a guarantee. So, and if at the point of entry, if all your list documentations are complete, but based on the checklist that would be available to you, then you could look at worst case scenario, as I said, depending on the volume, 2 months.
Okay, I think that is answered. Yeah, another question is okay. I'm sending. Okay, good evening, engineer. Thanks for the message once again. Please, I would like to ask Madam Lanre, and Bank of Industry, well, can they sponsor mining business as good business, as you know, engineer? But I would like to ask from her if Bank of America can support or give loan to mining industry, basically gold, we based in those states.
Yes, we can support. As I mentioned, we have, we support in area of minerals, solid minerals and all that. So it's something we do.
Okay, I think that is answered. And another question from Facebook here is that, what factor will the bank consider before granting a loan? I believe she has mentioned this, because you need to be specific, because that question is, what factor would the bank consider before granting a loan? I believe she has mentioned this already. Or Larry, can you just run through it?
The person said, what platform?
Said, what factor would the
what
bank?
Factor? Oh, what factor? Okay. Oh, there are a lot of factors. As I said, yes, I've mentioned them. So it depends on how much you want to get. It depends on all the checklists in terms of as little as your tax clearance. It's part of what you want to look at. Want to see your financial transactions. So even just as I do say that even the little things you consider not to be relevant, ensure you have an account, a bank account, and pass them through your accounts because of record, keeping and record purpose. As I said, is all based on evidence. Is what we see, would analyze, would not assume, oh, I make turnover of a 500 million or even a 10 million, and there's no evidence to back that. One should be able to see a track record of that even in several months, So yeah, those factors are there. As I said, once you're ready, and through the academy as well, you will be given, or you can have access to all the necessary checklists you need to have. Thank you.
All right. The time is just right. Okay, let me just take the last question from this. You can't take all these questions. Some of these questions, I believe, I will tell the admin to drop a number. I can answer some of this question. I think it's not, but okay, let me take this one. I think, let me see all these questions out. Okay. Which one? Because the time is well spent and we need to go and rest because we have work tomorrow. All these questions are not, no. I don't think we should go into this. I don't think we should go into this. No. Okay, let me take this. Okay, Nasiru from Kaduna, my Kaduna people. Okay, Nasiru from Kaduna. Can agree? I think it's right. Yeah. Can people? Okay, someone in agri sector, can he come for loan? I think we have Bank of Agri too. I think that one would be better off than Bank of the. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm not into banking though. But is that saying, can someone into agri sector come for loan from Bank of the Industry? I think with this will be the last question.
Yes, we support a lot of agricultural businesses. Yes, so you can.
Oh, but I believe we have Bank of Agriculture too. I think that one, their percentage might be lower on my own school of thought though. But okay, Nasiru, you can. They've answered your question. You can. So at this point, thank you, Larry. You've really exhausted most of those things that they need to know. And this is we have. Let me see. Any chats? Okay, from the chat room. Okay. If you want to contact her, just contact me. Someone just said, can they have Madam Lanre's number? There's no problem. If you get me, I will definitely oblige to that. There's no problem with that. Direct question. Okay. In absence of that, because we keep going on, the question will not stop. Because anything that comes to funding, okay, this is it. Okay, let me get this. Yeah. It's a direct question. Like, this is what I'm saying. From the chat room is asking, somebody bringing a bet business to Nigeria, which is worth of millions of dollars. Is it acceptable? To me, I believe is no. But don't let me say. Someone that is going to betting business, is it acceptable?
I'm not sure I understand that. Bringing in a debt business.
Betting business, all these betting business, all these, I believe what he's trying to say is all these Nigeria bet,
okay.
betting business.
No, not at all. We don't support
So, as I said, it's a direct question. We don't need to talk much about that because that's more or less like 50-50 is a gambling game. So I believe no bank will even invest in that. I don't know if they do, but I believe no bank will try to invest unless you have a visible a proposal that will speak. But I don't believe it will be a betting thing. Okay, now sort of that. Thank you, Larry. You've done very good. And today, people are able to share from your knowledge, your vast knowledge in this area of risk management. So I believe we'll be able to call you next time to answer. And in the after, we just said next month is another month where we're going to bring another speaker, which is going to speak on another topic that will be interesting. We keep encouraging people. Business does not stay in one place. You need to be diversified. If you want to do what Nigeria is doing today, you can't be in one position and you want things to move for you. You need to close up the gap. There's a lot of gap that we need to close up. If you want to get those things that people are doing, you need to move with the people that matter. We're talking about premium price. How can you get a premium price if you yourself, you're not premium, if you don't have that premium look? You can't walk into a branch today and you don't have that things that you need to show for them to give you a loan. But I believe, don't be scared. We have said it all. A lot of us get scared when it comes to loans that, oh, if I go, I don't want to go and get loans. But if you want to go bigger, you need to go up for loan. Loan is the way that you can. But I will tell you, going for loan, you should be able to know what you're going for. You're not just going to get a loan just for you to go and sleep at home or to buy a car. But you need to get a loan for something that will bring out that interest that you're meant to pay back. These are the opportunities that we have. But don't be scared that, oh, I don't want to go into a loan. My grandfather, my mother told me that loan is not good. But maybe it's from their own school of thought, how they were and how they brought them up that loan. But I can tell you, loan is the way we can go about it. That's just it. There are some businesses that if you don't have a loan, you won't go bigger than what you have. And I keep saying, if you are into a business, it's a simple logic. There are some people that, oh, I don't want, you see people on the high street getting a shop, getting a mall, getting the shops and all that on the high street. Why they will pay higher income? Why you don't tell me, oh, why should I go and pay such amount? Getting an going to an high street, you now go to a back street. The amount of the price you're paying for shop is the amount of profit you make. People that goes on high street to get those shops, they no reason for going there because that is where people will patronize. So let us be wise. It is not that they have the money, it's because they are using their ideas and knowledge. So Larry, as our culture, we appreciate you. And so everybody, can we mute and appreciate our speaker while we say good night today? Next month, we'll bring in, which is in November, we'll bring in another speaker, which is going to talk, and we're going to pass it across to everybody. Can we unmute ourselves and appreciate our speaker for tonight?
Thank you very much. God bless. Appreciated.
Thank you.
Dr. Pompey, thank you very much. Appreciated.
Welcome.
All right, we see you at the class. Yeah. Okay. If you still want to join the